Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's showtime. Hi guys, I'm back again, and I've cleaned out my inventory again. We'll see if it sticks. My money's on no. Those are the lone lands. I was running around in the North Downs, wasn't I? I was. So we'll remove these, unless we have to go back, in which case, you know, they're still there if we need them. To your health. And the imminent destruction of my own. Where am I currently set? Currently set at Anunmos. So I got on a little early because I wanted to clean up the inventory of my character because it was catastrophic again. And I had to spend almost all of my money. Still have that much? Spent over half of my money.
Mercy me, will
Dob
you hear me out?
Sandheaver's Pack. Level 30 quest. I am level 25. This quest would be read to me, and I would fail. Well, maybe. Things get significantly harder to hit as the level range, the level gap increases. You're far more likely to miss.
Greetings.
It's not. It's interesting. Let's see. Esteldin is fast travel. I guess we'll just use the trestle bridge. It'll take a minute or two while we get there. That's where we're headed. Alrighty. Well, good evening to whomever has joined me. I hope your Tuesday has gone reasonably well. I'll do everything in my power to completely ruin it for you. Although, maybe you've already done that work for me by joining me in my stream. We all make bad decisions, and this is one of yours. You have to live with the consequences of your bad decisions. However, my bad decisions, generally speaking, are not as easy to remedy as by, say, changing the channel. Don't do that, please. I'd cry. Not on stream, of course. Real men never cry on stream. They wait until the stream's over and then they lay on the floor, crying, wailing, and flinging their arms and legs around. Why? Sadly, I made very little progress. I want to make progress on it, on crafting. I'm going to have to come off stream and spend a couple of hours riding around in low-level zones to get the materials that I need. Because one of the things that's always been frustrating about the game is you reach a new, crafting tier level range, and if you haven't finished off the last one, you can't harvest any of the goodies. Oh, look! Ore nodes that I can't mine. Scholar nodes that I can't open. And it used to be really brutal, because mastering a craft, I think the first tier is basically 200 XP allows you to open up the next tier. But you have to have 400 more XP to master the skills in that craft. Now, for something where you're harvesting, like wood chopping, you know, lumberjacking, or mining, or even scholar, to access the scholar mats, you only need to get that first tier, the 200, and then the second tier will open up. But if you actually want to craft the good stuff, you've got to get that additional 400, so you have to basically do triple the work. Now, they did make that easier when they added a way of taking the raw materials, like, say, ore, and turning them into bars, and then turning the bars into sort of a scrap, and then turning the scrap back into bars. It's 50% is lost while you're doing it. But in essence, it, I think, triples the amount of XP you end up getting when you're grinding. Something like that, close to that. I believe the captain had one that I didn't want to take.
Can I speak with you a moment?
Right, fellowship quest. I'm not a fellowship, I'm a loner, a lone wolf. Also, I'm now wearing the Digweed's hat. Fortunately, I still look stylish as I'm wearing that hat as far as anyone can tell. Certainly the available fashion options is much, much lower, at least at the extremes, than most MMOs, where that's a big sales thing. Here, not much in the way of or outlandish stuff. Most of it falls within lore constraints. No people walking around in panda costume. Or bathing suits, although if you want, you can walk around with no visible piece of equipment in a number of slots. You can turn off the hat, the shoulders, the cloak, the gloves, and the feet. The signpost points to a dark land to the north, Fornost. Didn't have time to read the rest. Investigate the campfire at the edge of the darkened lands. The fields of Fornost. Oh, okay, actually up there. See, barrel iron, but I can't mine it. Mincom's camp, or possibly Mincham. Mincham is a human, it's probably Mincham, not Mincom.
A shadow is on my spirit.
Aww, a shadow is on his spirit. That's so sad. Glories long past. Deed complete, deed bestowed. Glories long past, advanced. And 10 more LotRO points.
Would you stay
Introduce yourself to Colbert the Mad, possibly Colbert the Mad. I wonder if they named him after Stephen Colbert, because Stephen Colbert is an enormous Lord of the Rings nerd. And that is actually true. I don't have the corresponding class.
How can I be of service?
Man fixes you with a hard stare. Lines of amusement etched into his pale skin. Yes, I'm Colbert the Mad. Colbert. I'm going to go with Colbert. Actually, his name was Colbert until he created the persona of Colbert, I believe. I came out of Fornost and lived to tell the tale. I remembered no time before, but I walked to the dark fields and saw many things. You are Bone Dome the Mad. Yes, mad, mad, mad to come to this place. There are ghosts, yes, and evil spirits, but more terrible than any, there are the bears. This man seems quite unhinged. Well, aren't we all?
Shadow is on my
And there's
spirit.
Ithremin, our vigilant lookout, but he speaks but rarely and smiles not at all. Introduce yourself to Ithremin. Peers at you calmly but does not speak. After a moment of uncomfortably staring, he looks away and seems to listen intently to some distant sound. The Rangers of Esteldin. I guess if Minkum is a ranger, though, it's probably Minkum. Because that's the pronunciation for Elvish, and they would have Elvish names. Evening, all.
Will you lend me your ear?
You ask of Ivremin? He watches and listens. All day, myself. I haven't strong hearing, let alone keen senses of the elves. I know not what he hearkens. Ask Ithremin what he hears in the fields of Fornost. Those new boots I'll be getting are crap. Meditate and listen to the sounds. I will meditate and listen to the voice on the wind. Frankly, if a dwarf sits down to meditate, the odds are he's nodding off. Let's be real. You suddenly detect just barely a far-off song, ghostly and unsettling. You tell Ithremin you have heard the strange voice, and he looks at you sharply. His words come haltingly, as if the common speech is strange to him. You hear the twisted song. Great evil lies beyond the light of this fire. Do you seek death? If not, stay and listen from afar. Well, I seek death, so I'm off. Thanks for the advice, Ithremin. There weren't any other rings there, were there? No. Who doesn't want a song? Ooh, rich iron. I can't get to it. Oh my gosh. It's not fair. It's not fair. This is the price you pay for leveling up too quickly. Got a bar guest, which is not, in fact, a guy who's gone to a pub for a drink, although those are bar guests. Bar guests are like naughty wolves. Should be over here somewhere. Find the source. Oh, it's back there. That's what I thought. Oh, now we have a ring. La 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 lily, pretty flowers so bright red. Red with blood where life has fled. La 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 lily. Wow, she's not crazy at all.
What is this world coming to?
Protect yourself. Okay. I'm gonna say that this might be bad. Esteldin. I've driven off the fell spirit. Oh, fools. I am driven from this one, but I am not defeated. We shall meet again. What happened? Where am I? Where is she? Oh, you saved me. I should go home now. Back home. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. If you're out wandering around and an evil spirit possesses your body, maybe going home would have been a better choice. Certainly, if a stranger comes by and frees you from the evil spirit, definitely going home seems like the right choice. Ithremin, you did well. Not many would have survived such an encounter, let alone drive off the fell spirit without harming the girl. Let's see. Crappy boots that I would never use, even though they have more armor. Or an item I can sell for more. Oh, no, the boots sell for more. That's level 26. I don't have a point available? Why do I not have a point available? I want to complain. Back to Minkum.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Ask Colbert if he knows any place where Olnathron might be hiding. Colbert.
What can I do for you?
Find and explore the strange piles of earth. Search the deathly lights. Search for graves. Oh, this sounds fun. They do a good job on getting the sort of atmosphere. The background sound, I don't know if you can hear it, it's pretty quiet. A little bit of wind. And barghasts. 1 down, 10 to go. Ring over his head, then he too has a kill-all mission. Kill, like, probably 10 of them. Redeemer. Yep, 10 of them. Deed bestowed. Defeat shades in the North Downs. Villainous Oathbreaker. You know, I wouldn't have beaten him up, but he's villainous. I mean, I have no choice. Villainy, you know. Those are the primary ones that we want to track. That took quite a while to go. Whoop. It's one of the bad wraiths. Time to run. Time to run. This is one of the elite wraiths. These ones I have no chance to beat. It seems like the aggro on them is radius where you can kite them away has been reduced. I know that they made them spawn less often. Frankly, those ones spawning are really bad if you're alone. If you're alone, your only choice is to run. Because nothing else is going to work. At least if you're a melee class. Which clearly I kind of am. Come get some. I have to defeat Nathir. I have a grave. This grave has recently been disturbed. Nothing creepy at all about that. It's fine, I'm sure. Well, there's Nathir, who we're going to talk to, apparently. Well, let me. Come closer, warm creature, closer. He likes me. I'm sure it's a very personal... He has a very close personal connection to me. Or he just wanted to eat me. Possibly possess me. Maybe both eat and possess me. That's a little creepy sounding. Find and explore the strange piles. We got piles of it around here. Where am I? Where the hell am I? All the way over there. Okay, well, we've got more piles. Oh, yep, another grave. Hi, guys. Good evening, Senator. These are bad dogs, okay? I would never hit a good dog, but these are bad dogs. This grave has recently been disturbed. Is that including me now, just disturbing it, or talking about before I got here? Another grave. Minstrel lasted until level 14 before a wraith got you. Hey, that's not bad. They don't start showing up until 12, but if you're in the middle of something, yeah, you're in trouble. Also, I'm not sure how good minis are at low levels. I think I've mentioned that my minstrel's my highest level character, and it's because they're very, very successful, very powerful offensive characters at higher levels. Again, it's been a while since I played a lower level one, so I don't know how much of that may not be the case. But once, you know, you have left behind that, oh, I have to get to level 20, a fell glimmer, a faint glimmer catches my eye. Investigate the strange tomb. Once you have accepted that your choices are to start a new character, or just not get hung up on the fact that you're not going to get the Deathless title. Yeah, I had Landscape Difficulty 3. Only surprised you died after only 2 hits. Well, there's 2 kinds of them. There are the elite ones. They don't show up as often, but you stand no chance against those. Got him. I've completed a fell glimmer. Should be another something over here. Actually, sort of glad it happened. You no longer care. Exactly. You don't have to worry about it. I don't know if you were around when I've spoken in the past about originally those were all of the titles you get for not dying were going to be every 10 levels, so you wouldn't get undying until level 50. And in the beta, or the alpha, they realized that all that does is it disincentivizes players from actually playing the game. They're more worried about not dying than they are about having fun. So that's why they reduced it from 50 levels to 20 levels. Yeah, I mean, it's fun if you can get it. It's great. Generally speaking, on a regular server, I would be disappointed if I didn't get it. The last time I didn't get it was because I got a DC in the middle of a fight. At level 19.9, literally like 2 or 3 mobs. With all I needed to finish it off. But that was on my first Runekeeper. So, I mean, that was literally when Moria had just come out. So that's forever ago. Eat fist. Been your issue with playing classic EQ? The death penalty means you stop playing solo. Yeah. It's one of the reasons that I've never gone and played the original EQ. I am a player who enjoys playing solo. Yeah, I know, it's a massively multiplayer online game. Why would anyone want to play it solo? I've heard that before. I enjoy being in a world that's alive around me. I love playing at my own pace. Not having to go fast or slow for anyone else. Defeat Achasoth. Alright, where are they? Alright, Achasoth is in this direction. Grave. This grave has recently been disturbed. Do you find that disturbing? And I've never been a fan of death penalties. In Dungeons and Dragons, I did away with the death penalty from my very early games of Dungeons and Dragons because it seemed dumb. If anything, you should get extra XP, learning your lesson from dying, not lose XP. So it's one of those bad things from D&D that made it into so many of the original MMOs. There were a lot of really dumb things about Dungeons and Dragons. That's not meant as a slam. It was the first of its kind. You know, D&D invented a hobby out of basically nothing. Bleed for me. I can almost taste it. I have driven off Achasoth. Return to Minkum. Alright. I will return to Minkum. It's one of the reasons why I always preferred one of the second batch of role-playing games to come out. RuneQuest. The RuneQuest game system I always thought was just vastly superior to Dungeons and Dragons because they got the inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons, whereas Dungeons and Dragons got its inspiration from miniatures games. In essence, it was sort of an expansion to Chainmail, their original miniatures game rules. So things like levels and hit points, those are representing multiple figures on a stand of miniatures in a miniatures game. They are basically just taking those and making them look and feel a little different. They're an abstraction of what the miniatures represented. You know, a miniature might represent 20 soldiers.
Shadow is on my
Tell
spirit.
Minkum of the Whites who spoke of Olnathron and Thamlorn, the waking of Morthen, light of death, and newly disturbed graves. If your tale is true, Olnathron has likely retreated to Thamlorn, but her power has not waned. This is troubling news.
Will you stay?
I believe Olnathron is at Thamlorn. Some ruins in the western fields. I have heard dark rumors about the place of late. It could well be the source of evil stirrings in Fornost. My horse will take you there if you wish to go. You must be careful. You are a seasoned warrior, but this place is truly evil. Okay, I want to go. We can throw that away. Throw about a dozen of those away. All right, I will take the horse. Take the horse from Minkum's camp to Thamlorn. And I'm there. Magic. Did I not just take it there? Oh, well, what am I supposed to do now? Where am I? Oh, I'm way out in the fields of Fornost. Okay, well, presumably they want me to go this way. Oh, there it is. There's the... Well, I can mount up. His horse took me to the instanced space, but nothing says I can't mount up once I'm here. Ooh, I love a nice baleful glow, you know? Can't get enough of a, like, evil-looking purple glow. Really. I've arrived at Thamlorn. Olnathron must be near. New quest, Clouds of Corruption. Disable burning idols. Throw me a whip. Oh, that antique vase. I don't have the right craft tool. I do, but I'm not high enough level to use it. Am I? Yeah, I like the proper training. I hate my life. Spoiler, I don't actually hate my life. That's 1 out of 6. Noxious idols. I'm just gonna dish out a whole bunch of whoop ass on these boys. Is it over here to get up the... No, it does not appear that that's the way. That is not the way. Did I miss some stairs in there? Must have, but I don't. Ah! Aha! Aha! I found it. Villainous Oathbreaker. Taste fist. Delicious dwarven fist. Just a little bit of home-cooked fist for you, you know? Oh, we had a supply crate down there. I'm a dwarf. I can't not go for the fat loot. It's a racial and cultural imperative. Nine silver pieces. I mean, come on. That's like 1/100th of a gold. Can't expect me to walk away from that kind of fortune. Right, that's 4 if they're noxious idols disabled. And it's a wraith. Oh, it'll be one of the little ones. Okay, it's one of the little ones. I screwed it up, and I'm dead. Fuck. Again, showing up in an instance is bullshit, okay? It's a bullshit mechanic. I got it. Not by much. I'm not in combat, god damn it. There's a little more frustrating in MMOs, and I'm talking about all of them, than trying to do something and being told you can't do that because you're in combat when you know for a fact you're not in combat. Or it's telling you you're in combat, and maybe you are as far as the game is concerned, but the mob is 3/4 of a mile away, or 200 feet below you, or in another plane of existence. That's 5. And 6. And now we have to confront Olnathron. The fell spirit. The Denadine cannot withstand the might of the dead, and neither can you. You will all die, and this land will be covered in our fell shadows. Blah, 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 blah. That was a little dicier than it needed to be. But, you know, good has triumphed over evil again. Good evening, Felson. How goes the early evening out in your neck of the woods? I'm here in a big evil place. You can tell because it glows purple and green. Just like in real life, purple and green. That's not great. That's just not great. There's the horse that'll take me back to Minkum. And I'm back at Minkum. We'll take all my good stuffs. And I need to AFK for a sec because my cup runneth under. Just like that, he's back. Like herpes. Clouds of corruption.
Raise the shadow upon my heart.
And
the shadow is on my
Olnathron. Let's see.
spirit.
Heavy armor. Give up might, vitality, but resistance. I don't even remember. Resistance, physical mastery. It doesn't even show up as one of the stats anymore. Yeah, I don't think resistance does anything anymore. But they didn't update the stats, so it's not as good, sadly. Pardon me. But I will take it, and we'll take a look at it. And sure, why don't we go ahead and wear it cosmetically? We can sell it, even though we have it, we're wearing it cosmetically. A bit of a dodge, but I won't tell anyone if you don't.
Would you stay a
Speak to
moment,
Amarian
learn of my
at Amon
troubles?
Reith. And
Will you
Colbert,
give me a moment of your
investigate
time,
Amon
friend?
Amrun. Well, Amon is hill in Elvish. Hill or mountain. Kind of depending. As an example, Most of the hills are referred to as Ammon or Emmen for a line of hills. But Mount Doom is also called Ammon Amarth, which is Elvish for hill or mountain of doom. No. Oh, here, we want that one first. See, I told you I used to speak Elvish. Or as much of it as there was in the Lord of the Rings. Oh, we got another quest. Defeat Bloodeye. Bloodeye? Bloodeye's pack. That sounds like a group of critters, doesn't it? Alright. Use due north. Well, that's a bear. Barghast. Bloodeye, and he's got a couple little friends. Well, I can definitely take him out. Because he only has a couple little friends. And I am certifiably a badass. There goes Bloodeye and his friends. I do have a fear on me of some sort. But I'm not afraid of a little fear. Wait. That doesn't even make sense to me. I keep getting stuck on bushes. Shrubberies, if you like. And we have a stable point up here. Basically halfway between Trestle Bridge and Esteldin. Yep.
How can I be of service?
Always talk to the stable master. Or the flight master. Or make sure you've activated the waypoint, because there's nothing worse than having to go back to a place because you didn't get the waypoint the first time. My adult beverage of choice is rocks, vanilla vodka, splash of cream, A&W root beer. Now, if you're an American, that will sound like a root beer float. And that's what it tastes like. If you're European, the general consensus is that American root beer is vile. And that is a direct quote from at least 3 of my European friends who tried it and said, "Oh my God, that's vile." So if you're a European, I will simply say that in most cases, ooh, I got an adamant shard, very nice. It is an acquired taste. If you're an American, odds are pretty good that it was a root beer float was a summer treat. To Ammon Reith.
What do you need? Stay a moment.
Collect tough boar meat at Minas Vrun. Alright, they need boar meat. Come on. You can fess up and say what it really is. Come on, dude. You want the bacon. It's okay. We all want bacon, man. All of us want bacon. Investigate Ammon Amrun. How far north am I going? Do I have to be up that hill line? I don't think so, but maybe. I think it's on the other side of the hills. I was correct. Defeat Girthagar. Life Sapper. Is this what I'm supposed to investigate? Indeed it is. And where is Girthagar? He is supposed to be over there. Well, let's beat up this Barghast just to beat up a little, or build up a little oomph. And then this Barghast to get some more oomph. In my line of work, you can never have too much oomph. Girthagar needed more oomph, I think, to defeat me. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, now back to over here. Defeat enraged shades at Amon Amrun. Well, I'm not sure if he's enraged or not. Yeah, he's enraged. I mean, after all, he has no body. And yeah, imagine if, like, maybe you've got an itch, and now for hundreds or even thousands of years, you haven't been able to scratch. Defend yourself against the wrath of Dumorn. He is enraged by the notion of thieves rummaging through the ancient tomb of Amrun. That's understandable. I would be pissed off too if someone were rummaging through my grave. Search for signs. I need to kill 4 more shades in this general vicinity. An Oathbreaker coward. Oh, definitely got to beat up the coward. Chicken! Chicken! It's possible that mocking the dead is a bit over the top. But still. Alright, that's 8 out of 8. Deed completed. Of glories long past advanced complete. Is that like 15 whole LotRO points? No, 10. A rusting coffer. Nope, that one's just fat loot. Let's see, search for signs of looters at Amon Amrun. Still in that direction. Interesting. I mean, we had the spirits running around being all pissed off. It's an antique vase, which I can't use because I'm not a good enough scholar. The entrance has been opened and you feel as if you're being watched. Well, I certainly am being watched by a freaking wraith. Speak with the person who followed you here. A person followed me here? They're not very smart. I'm still in combat. God, I hate that so much. You're still in combat. No, I'm really not. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm not in combat. So somebody followed me here. Who was it? The elf? No, Colbert the Mad.
What can I do
Clever
for you?
to have found me out. The Brothers Colbert, adventurers. That's who we were before we adventured here. The Brothers Colbert, grave robbers. Afore we robbed the wrong grave. The Brothers Colbert, making a fine living before I'm on Amrun. Now I'm just Colbert. Colbert the Mad. It seemed that Colbert the Mad sent you here on a sort of confession for his crimes.
Could I speak
Find
with
the
you a
heirloom
moment?
chest and return it to its tomb. That is the sound of a follow. Beowulfgan. Very nice. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Skull. The heirloom chest. The heirloom chest, I just said. The heirloom chest, it is. To the west. There it is. Heirloom chest. I have discovered a stolen chest that surely enraged the shades. Collect, find the heirloom chest and return it to the tomb. Presumably the opened tomb. And then all the undead will be friends with me. No? The wrath of the tomb's guardian has been appeased. All right, Colbert.
Hello there.
My head, it's a little clearer now. The fog is receding. How strange. Do you know, it wasn't very wise for my brother or I to come here and start robbing random tombs. We're professional treasure hunters, but we separated from the rest of our group a few weeks back. We were seeking the riches of Fornost. I wonder if the others are still in camp where we left them. That is a really crappy wrist item. I'll take the shield because at least I can sell it for more.
Could I speak with you?
Would you
a
like to
moment?
explore for the Fornost city? We could see if my old companions are still there. Find the treasure hunters camp. Sure, why not? Why not go to a city completely filled with the dead? Sounds great. Fornost used to be a series of dungeons in the game. I don't know to what degree that may have changed. I don't know if they've changed them into level scaling content or soloable content. I don't even know where I'm heading. There it is. Couldn't even see the ring on the map. It was like the ring was a wraith. Sorry. Oh my god, I keep getting stuck on plants. I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid's stuck on me. Well, that looks a little bit dicey. Wargs. And various flavors of orcs. I mean, this is going to sound like I'm being a racist, but have you noticed how property values drop when the orcs and wargs move in? Oh, I know. Us dwarves are all nothing but racists. Well, I mean, come on. Am I wrong? You must be outside. I don't see how they could be outside. But they weren't inside, not anywhere I could see them, so we'll try around the outside. On hills up above, maybe? Possibly? Could be, or inside the tower, the broken tower. That was... There's no way I'm getting up there. There's another player. It's Icy Cold, the Undefeated. Undefeated, not the same as Undying. Yeah, that's, there's no way up there. At least not anywhere nearby, so I must have had to go in further before I turned left. The Norbury Gates. So maybe a left turn here. We'll meet with a little more success. Looks like we do have an interior space here. There they are. The treasure hunters camp. Hi guys, how goes the treasure hunting? It's Colbert the
How can I
Man.
be of service?
I knew you'd make it. You're too curious to stay away from much anything, aren't you? Well, here's our little band. Folks gathered up in the keep. They're knocking their heads together for some serious plans. I prefer it down here where sensible folks are thinking how to survive. This isn't the most welcoming of places. I agree with Bart, and I'm not going to be that coherent in a few hours. Rockworms defeat rockworms in Fornost. Doom, 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 doom. Rockworms. Rockworms.
Sorry to trouble you.
Bears,
Will you help
boars,
me?
and Orcs.
Would you do something for me?
Gajar Pan. Small fellowship recommended. Well, I'm gonna accept it, and if he looks too beefy, I'll choose, well, discretion to be the better part of valor.
How may I help you?
Do not show lock. Let's see. I can sell that. Lump of chives. I can sell that. Want to keep those. And keep that for sure. Keep that. Keep that. Sell that. Those are terrible. Sell those. An adamant shard. That's used for crafting. Okay. Talk to Archwidup.
Would you do something
Defeat
for me?
goblins in Fornost. 30? And then 30 orcs? Yeah, I'm not killing that many.
Will you give me a
Or
moment
20
of your time,
trolls.
friend?
Might I take a moment of your
That's a
time?
full fellowship quest. I'm not doing
Will you
that.
give me a
Yeah,
moment
those
of your
those are
time,
the
friend?
basically those are the dungeon type quests.
Might I take a moment of
Find
your time?
Remy and release its spirit. That's fellowship 2. Okay, so there's sort of the non-fellowship quests that can be done just in the relative close area, as you can see here in the map. And then there's the actual instanced spaces of Fornost. But it looks like everything is probably going to be elite mobs. Fortunately, I myself am elite. And a wraith. One of the bad ones. When it's one of the bad ones, do not hesitate a moment, as you can see that he peeled off a third of my health pretty much instantly. Has he decided to break off his pursuit? He has now. Okay. If you're not aware, there are 2 flavors of wraiths. It seems like, to me so far, that the first batch appears at level 12. And they can be tough, especially if they show up in an instance, a solo instance. Or if they catch you in the middle of fighting something else. Your odds of surviving are not great. Level 22, the tougher ones start to show up because they're a little bit tougher. And occasionally, the ones with the eye here show up. And they're way tougher. They've got chunks of guys tougher than me in their stool. That was a follow from Kresnot XD, I believe. I have a spiel. Here it comes. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. Like right there, where I almost forgot my spiel. You are most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Good evening. Let's see if I can avoid aggroing the Wraith again. Great Hormontal is an Orcs. Interestingly, these are not particularly elite mobs. it is the start of a good evening. And the more of these I have, the better the evening will get. Don't do this at home, kids. I'm a professional. This is not for amateurs, okay? I really genuinely want nothing to do with that wraith. You notice the wraith doesn't go after the bears or anything. I don't know why. It doesn't seem fair to me. You're a wraith. You just want to, you know, steal the life of the living. That's the 3 Orcs. I need what? 1 more bear and 2 more boars. Is that my guy over there? Yeah. They spawn at your level. So, because I'm level 26, I can tell that that's my bad guy spawn and not somebody else's bad guy spawn because it's level 26. Now, there could be another level 26 around, but most of the time, that's not happening. You do want to be careful if you're in an area where there are higher level characters, because even if they're doing lower level content, they can still spawn the bad types, or even a regular type. If it's 6 levels higher than you, that's not going to go well for you either. Those are the field bears. I need 1 more little piggy. There we go. Little piggy. And some rock worms. Alright, that's that taken care of. The rock worms are further north, and then there's also an NPC we're looking for. What's his name? Gajarpan. Worms. Dear me, I've got worms. Or, if you prefer a little muad'Dibj, we've got worm sign. Mind you, these are fearsome rockworms, but evidently, I'm more fearsome than them. It's important to enjoy your work, so... Well, that's all the worms I needed to kill. Now, where was... Alright, then he should be in here somewhere, right? Gajarpan. Yeah, a little bit north of me. That is a disappointing turn of events. So they want me to ride through the building that's full of worms, because I don't want to ride through the building that's full of worms. They want me to ride through the building that's full of worms. You know, killing that guy is just not that important to me. So, I'll take care of the worms and the boars, bears, and Aurochs. by the way. Orcs were a historical thing, basically big oxen-type critters. I think they died out in, like, the last Ice Age? Something like that. Don't believe wild Aurochs are around, but I might even be wrong about that. Alright, well, I did not get attacked by the Wraith.
What do you need?
There's the rockworms. That's more rep. More rep. The Rangers of Esteldin. I am known to the Rangers of Esteldin. Deed completed. New deed. Title awarded. I'm known to the Rangers of Esteldin. And 5 LotRO points. That's a nickel. I'm rich. I'm rich. Wealthy. Beyond the dreams of Croesus and Midas.
Might I take a moment of
Defeat the
your time?
Blogmaul Defiler. You know, I'm just not wanting to go back in there. So we're going to drop the quest for Gajar Pen. And next up is we're back heading off for boar meat at Minas Vrun. I just have to avoid boatloads of Orcses and some wargsies. Hope everybody's had a decent Tuesday. I mean, up until you came here so that I could ruin it for you. Mine was quiet, as usual, but when you're an old retired guy, what you want out of your day is quiet. Well, I'll try not to screw it up any worse for you. That's about the best I can promise. I won't intentionally damage the quality of your day. Not saying it's not going to happen, but I won't do it intentionally. Well, tomorrow will get you past the halfway point for the week. From there, you can coast to the weekend. If you're an expert at it, like I became over the years, I could start coasting on Monday. But again, that's not recommended for beginners. That is world-class quality slacking. And you have to work your way up to that. All right, I'm here. Oops. Okay, good. I was afraid it was a wraith popping up. As far as I know, the wraiths don't pop up out of nowhere. As best I have been able to determine, they all are activated either when you attack something, but I've also heard they can pop up when you activate a crafting node, like you mine something or chop down a tree. I don't know if that's actually true, but that is what I have been told. It's an enraged Razortooth. And another wraith. Delicate Fur of Might. I got 2 of those. One of them's level 28, the other is level 26. They are better than what I'm using, so I'm going to use that one. Alright, another, I need to kill 7 more of these enraged Razortooths. Oh. Didn't realize there was 2 of them there. Fortunately, even though I'm only at half health, I am a doughty dwarf, more than capable of taking on 2 little piggies. I am now going to get murdered by pigs. That's my prediction. I've opened my mouth. I've said I can take on a bunch of pigs. I'm going to get chain stunned and murdered by pigs. That is all the necessary boar meat. Respawned just as yours. They should not have a ranged attack. No, they have one that will finish you off. If you run away with like 30 hit points or 40 hit points left, depending on whether they get lucky in their shots, they can kill you as you're attempting to get away. It does not feel fair. But also, a part of it is class, you know? I chose a melee class because I had fun leveling up one of these up. I didn't stop to think about what would be the best way of not dying. So I have died a fair amount to the wraiths. Not very often for the last 10 levels. But the wraiths that spawn once you're level 22 or higher, that are the elites, yeah, run.
What do you need?
Ding 27. Scout the goblin camp and avoid goblins. I hate this quest. Hate that quest. Don't like it. Defeat wargs at Nathan Hodges farm. That I can do. Ooh, I have tasks to turn in. Tough sword sheaths. Yep. What else have we got? We got coarse skins. Yep. We got coarse furs. Yep. That's 3 of them. You can turn in 5 tasks a day by default. Not much XP, but they're free rep, and rep is always worth getting if you can. 2 more. Let's see. Coarse skins and coarse furs. And that is the 5 per day you can turn in. That's quick 1,500 rep.
Did you need something?
I'm sorry. Did you need something? Yeah, I reached my tasks limit. All right, where do I have to murder wraith? I mean, wargs. I should have another point now, shouldn't I? Not sure why I didn't have the last time I leveled up. Not deeds, traits. I have a point. I am putting points into here because I have a thing here that when I have a metal spending attack, in other words, it's builders and spenders. My 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all builders. The next several are spenders. They have a 25% chance to trigger a burst of light type damage, and this is raising that chance. Light type damage will do extra damage to wraiths, and so I'm jacking this up before other things that are probably more important for general fighting, just to try and deal with the wraiths. I think when I get them all, it pumps it all the way up to a 50% chance to trigger latent light. I don't even know how big the attack is, but the light type of attacks are especially useful against creatures of darkness like wraiths or that kind of thing. Fire is good on certain types of critters. The first age Baleriand type damage is good on against almost all the evil type critters, but that doesn't become available until later. There are a lot of damage types, and it actually does matter in the game. Quite a lot. There's a wrecked fence. Starts a quest. I must face the target. Am I not facing the target? I'm trying to face the target here. There we go. Carnage at the Hodges. Repair broken fence sections. Well, I can do that. After all, I'm a hero. What? Heroes are well known for their fixing of fences. I mean, after all, part of the deal about being a hero is to get people together. So, you know, we have to deal with fences and also bridges. We build bridges between people. New deed, Warg Slayer. Was that complete? Nope, new one. Defeat wargs in the North Downs. Filthy wargses. Bad doggies. Oh, we've got a couple of little warg mates for the big warg. Oh, how cute! Die. Planting. Oh, placing bait. No wonder. Didn't realize that was what I was doing. I had to bait them out. More of them coming in? Well, okay. Fine. Couple more, that should do it. Come on, come on. Come on, come get some. I'm waiting for you. Stand fast, there may be more. Well, that's 9 out of 10. But I still need to fix 3 more fences. Fortunately, we have more fences over there. Frankly, even with the fences I'm fixing, they really don't actually do much. Delicious. A craved stonehold. It's another flavor of gobby. Carnage at the Hodges. Well, that's 5 and 12, and that's 2 and 35. Well, we obviously take the one that's worth more. Tell Nathan Hodges. The farm has been cleared of wargs. Well, it's been cleared of wargs, but we've got like a wolf there. We've got a crazed stone hand there. Stonehold, sorry. I mean, sure, the wargs are taken care of, except for the 2 that are still sitting there, and the wolf is there. Yeah, I'm going to end up feeding his family to the wargs, aren't I? Dude, yeah, it's all clear. I promise. You know, except for the wargs that keep coming back. But you know, that wasn't all you wanted. You wanted me to clear it. It was clear when I left. Oh, nice crack. Nice pop. The old man's falling apart. Right here on stream. I expect a limb to fall off at any moment. That's another Fallout. Shahir 19. You too will now get my spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Would you
Let's
do
see.
something for me?
I'm not going to... I hate that quest so much.
Could I speak with you a moment?
You could, but you can't.
Can't you leave me to my misery?
Leave you to misery? I just fixed your freaking... Yeah, go away, you jerk. So I guess I'm off to Esteldin, then. just...
What do you need?
I'll sit back and enjoy the ride. Hi, guys. I will take advantage of this unattended but intended ride. I'll be right back. I need to refill the cup again. Not even to Esteldin yet. It's a beautiful night. If you note, there's Orion, the hunter, right there. There's the belt of Orion, for those of you who've seen the original Men in Black. The 2, the 3, and the 2. In this case, they've given him a bow as well. Fair Issel in High Elven, or Ithil in Low Eldens, Noldor and Sindarin. It erodes my soul a little as a player from almost launch that riding past the crafting materials that I'm not high enough tier to be able to harvest, like those mining nodes. It hurt. We are now entering Esteldin. Please wipe your feet. Well, hi there, Hold Your Tanner.
Would you do something for me?
As long as you don't want me to hold your Tanner. Collect the gem pouch for the spider gems. Spider gems, spider gems. One-handed weaponsmith. I admire a man who overcomes his handicap.
How may I help you?
That's kind of a joke. Your mileage may vary. 22 maximum morale and 60 resistance. Again, I don't think resistance is even in the game anymore. That I can sell because I can't use it. The rest of those are theoretically task materials. And we have dagger ass over here. That's dagger ass, not drag your ass.
Might I take a moment?
Defeat wargs. I can do that too. Sure. You get on my own little pony. Could have sworn there were more quests. So for those who asked, I've had a couple people who asked about the rewards for the wraiths. At least the first tier of rewards is here at Amelia in Esteldin. She's listed as a harried scholar.
What do you need?
To open up the rep, you need to at least cash in 20 of the tattered shadows that you get from killing the wraiths. And that will give you your first rep.
How
And
may
the
I
rep
help you?
is
What can I do for you?
Amelia's Studies. It's 2,500 and 20 of the little tatters was good for 50. So basically you're looking at another 49, call it 50. So that's 1,000 of them to get to the first tier from neutral to acquaintance. At higher levels, you'll get the Morgul coin, which I believe those only drop from the world bosses, from when you fight and defeat the Nazgul themselves. And they are worth 250 rep points. I'm not sure at which tier these become available. There is a Shadow Cat and a Shadow Netherhound. There's an Unwelcome Mat, similar to a housing item that already exists. The Unwelcome Mat, when you step on it out, a shade pops out and throws a fear onto you. The Hood of the Veil is actually a nice looking cosmetic. Right there. The replica hammer of the Gloom of Nirn. The Gloom of Nirn is one of the 9 Nazgul. It's a big black hammer. And then you've got some potions with hope and shadow mitigation and fear resist. And then jewelry with vitality, physical mastery, and shadow mit. And then teal tier jewelry with those same sorts of stats. And those are part of Amelia's apparently a whole bunch of stuff. But I don't know how you could get to 6 items. 2 rings, 2 earrings, I guess, and 2 bracers would be it. Can get you to 6 items with theoretically good stats. I don't remember how good the stats should be at level 50 to be competitive. And they give hope as the set bonus for 2, 4, and 6 pieces. Frankly, I'm disappointed that there aren't more things. If this is all there is, and sadly it's another case of a very small team. Let me say that first. There are not a lot of people working on the game. But I would have to say that that was a disappointing number of items that you can get through this cool-seeming mechanic. Now, there may be a whole bunch of stuff that I don't have access to, can't get, in which case what I just said is bullshit and should be
Might I take a
heartily
moment of your
ignored.
time?
Level 29 is Talk to the Earthkin. The Yortkin. There's the Craft Hall. I don't know if there's any quests in there or not. Used to be busy. Oh, that's right. They put doors in now for individual guilds. All that stuff used to be out here in the main area, but no longer. There were a bunch of quests west of Esteldin, and they're all gone. I mean, collect the gem pouch. I mean, maybe they were all kill missions, so I'll get them as I defeat wargs. There's also a mission that sends you south down here into the marshes in Meluinen. Not sure what these are. Examining. Fellowship quest. Yeah, I guess these are all fellowship quests. No, this one isn't. Okay, yeah, this is the sort of thing I was looking for. Good. Spiders. All right, these are repeatables. I guess they converted them into repeatables now. Wargs. Okay. And orcs. And orcs. All right. This one was a fellowship quest? Helms of the Fallen. That's got... Yeah, okay, and that's in Doldinen. That is in this area down here, which is all elites. friend of mine, a bunch of my kin mates. Kin is a guild in LotRO. We're going down there, and they talked to one of my guild mates to bring her alt character around, who hadn't died yet. I said, don't worry, we got you covered. Nothing's going to happen. And they didn't intentionally do it, but she did get killed. She continues to throw it back in their faces from time to time, because they had assured her there was no way she could die. Turns out, in the original game, elites are no frickin' joke. They were not meant as solo content. In fact, there was one around here you had to get for a crafting quest. I think it was for tailoring. You had to kill this big elite Orcs, and basically you'd want to have to get a friend, a higher level friend. Alright, the spider is over here. Okay. We're looking for a little bag of gems or something, and it's in the middle of the spider area over here. We might as well get closer to it, and then we'll have to kill our way in. And there's the Spider Queen quest. Yep, we need to kill her. Spider Queen, Spider Queen. Sorry, I can't help myself. I have poor impulse control. That's a book reference. That's not even an old guy book reference. That's kind of a cool hip guy book reference. Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash. Oh, Herbs and Simples. Another quest. Okay, a lot of the quests you used to be assigned. Maybe you were always just had to go into the area and pick them up by, you know, there's the gems. I bet the big Spider Queen is going to surprise me at some point here. And I'm going to go make a sound something like, whoa! I just thought I'd prepare you for that. Want to make sure you enjoy it appropriately. Another cocoon. Have I already opened that one? Yeah, I guess I must have already opened it. They shouldn't blink if you've already opened them. It's the Kingsfell Spider Queen! I tell you, Pummel is just the best. Oh, god damn it, no. This is not good. Why isn't that thing dead? I'm dead. I'm not hitting that creeper for anything, and now I'm going to try to run, but it's not going to work. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to work. So that's another death for the Wraith. Fortunately, I can revive for free. I get a full free heal, and he now gets to suffer like the punk he is. You mess with me, you get pummeled, dude. You get pummeled. I may die again. Nope. No, don't miss again. Thank you. Yeah, cannot do that in combat. Have I mentioned how much I hate that? Getting that message when I'm not actually in combat? I might have mentioned that once or 12th. If you're a Lord of the Rings Online player, and you're saying to yourself, I'm definitely, I'm going to get Deathless on Angmar or Mordor, maybe not. Don't mean to crush your hopes. The snares. I have defeated a bunch of spiders. Other spiders, more spiders. Spooters everywhere. But not a drop to drink. Not that I would want to drink spiders. That actually sounds like nightmare fuel. I need 5 more. We'll see if I run into the queen again. I've died twice tonight. Both time wraiths. Both time when I was involved in already interesting fights, let's say. Like the Spider Queen. One more spooter. Tell you what, we'll throw an empty ale mug at that one. It's the only pull we've got. Alright, spooters, taken care of. Herbs and simples. Also, got the spider. Okay, that's the turn in for the Spider Queen, and that's the Orc bounty. Alright, well, let's head for herbs and simples. I need wargs? I think I need wargs, don't I? Hi! Who's a good doggy? Not you. Also, yeah, not him. Or him. No shortage of spooters around either. Definitely give the creeps to someone with arachnophobia. But then seeing bugs in games sometimes gives me the creep because I have entomophobia. Spiders, they don't scare me unless it's like the middle of the night and I turn on the light in the bathroom and there's one where I don't expect it. That's scary.
Greetings to you.
Bugs, however? Yeah, bugs scare me. No, I know it doesn't make any sense, but then most phobias don't. Do not replenish our supplies.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Collect Orcs stakes.
Stay
And search shattered barrels. I guess I can do those things for you, sure. Little elvish settlement here. Fangilioth. Even sounds snooty like the elves. They think they're better than everyone else. Well, yes, but that's only because we are. Splash and... oh, not off the horse. Nice. We've got another butterbur over here, and we need one more butterbur. We have another one? Another one? No, we don't. Yes, there it is. Victory is mine. Do I remember the year 1973 at all? Sure. Junior high school, or as you guys call it now, middle school. least I think that's where I was. Yeah, should have been. No, because I've always had pretty good abilities to bullshit and chat and talk with people. I had pretty good relations. I was also, while I was the fat guy, I was an athletic fat guy. So I did sports and stuff. So the jocks knew me, and I got along with them because I was funny, and I was, pretty good at sports for a big guy. So the only bullying that would have really gone on was from the guys who were the year ahead. At my time, because we had a sort of a weird, in my school system had kind of a weird setup. It was grammar school basically through 7, although 6 and 7 were sort of a hybrid thing. They were in a big classroom with 4 little subsections, and you'd move around between classes. And then 8 and 9 were junior high school, and then 10, 11, and 12 were high school. So the guys who were a year older than me would be the only ones who were likely to bully me, and I never had any real problem with it. I'm 5'9" now. My heaviest, let me put it this way, in the last couple of years I've lost almost 75 pounds. So I was a lot bigger than I am now. Orcs. I need to kill orcs? Well, I can do that now. At one time, yes. Eating too much, living a completely sedentary life, it's really easy to pack on the pounds. For me, losing the weight has been pretty easy, generally. I mean, the reason I'm drinking tonight is because it's a cheat night for me. Because I haven't gained weight, and for me that is sufficient right now. But for me, losing weight has been relatively easy, although not painless. If I don't eat it, if it's not in the house, and it's not in the house, if it's not in the grocery, the shopping market, the shopping cart. So for me, dieting, all of my dieting takes place not at home, but at Safeway. Now, lest it sounds simple, on an average day, I'm eating about 1,300 calories. And that's not a lot. That's 9 out of 15, 10 out of 15. But according to the best information I could find, the average sedentary adult burns through about 1,600 calories a day. So if I'm at 1,300, I'm burning through about 300 excess a day. And that's about a pound every 12 days, assuming I stick to it. Nope. Not Jewish at all. I am of German and Scandinavian descent. One more orc. Is there an orc up there? I don't think so. That's probably a spider. It's a spider. I need one more orc. One more orc. 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 orcs. Dead orcs, dead orcs, dead orcs. What do we have in here? Provisions. What provisions? Provisions? I need... Oh, I need to kill 4 more Orcs. Thought I got the Orcs. Guess not. Oh, there's an Orcs. How convenient. I need 4 more of them. And I see 5 more. After this one. That's 2. I think that one is the one that was needed back in the day for the crafting quest. One more. That one didn't give me a steak? You little bastard. How can I not find a steak out of something that big? Oh, it's a wraith. It's the bad wraith. Run, Lens, run. See, Lens, run. Lens, run as fast as his stumpy little legs can carry him. Go away. Man, I'm getting mostly the really bad wraiths today. I'm having to run away from a lot of wraiths. Alright, he also... maybe the calves don't have... Maybe you can't get a steak off a calf. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Alright, that's all the Oryx steaks. Yeah, the wraiths are no joke, and I'm fine with them in the open world. I wish the spawning mechanic was a little different. Because spawning in when you're already doing something is kind of a cheesy move when you're already fighting something. But I guess, hey, they're wraiths. They're not going to fight fair. Not sure how I feel about the ones that are a death sentence if you try and fight them solo, the bigger ones, the tougher ones, the elites. Like the one I just ran away from like an enormous candy ass. Not my fault. 2 and 3, 2 and 90. That's the better one. We have another turn in here. No, we've got other stuff over there. What do we have? We have scattered belongings. Scattered belongings. Search the shattered barrels. Well, there's a shattered barrel right there. Okay. It's a sickle fly. And we've got a quest now to kill 10. 8. That's 1. So I was right, there are a whole lot of quests down here, but they're almost all dynamically assigned. Ooh, ah. Sometimes you just gotta let it out. You're a dwarf. You got something you need to fight. Maybe this time it's a binding marsh strider. One of the weirder additions that the team made is those things. Not in the books, as far as I'm aware. The sickle flies, sure, they're just big, unpleasant, disease-carrying flies, most likely. I feel a sneeze wandering around inside my sinuses. It wants to come out and play. I'm not sure how enthused I am about that prospect. Pummel is just the best. Do I need more wargs? I need more wargs. Hi! Who's a bad dog? You. Another sickle fly. I need one more. Still looking for the barrels. A revolting silt toad. Well, I don't want to aggro unnecessarily a revolting silt toad, so I'll just throw a mug at this sickle fly, finish off the sickle flies. I get fly cutter, an axe. In that direction should be more busted crates. Barrels. Crate and barrel. Yep, one more over there. I believe we have trolls back here as well. There's a shattered barrel. That should be the last one I need. Pick that up while still on horseback. All right. Back to Elfville. Okay. This thing knocked me off my horse because it's a jerk. It's now a dead jerk. I hope you learned your lesson. Jerk. Dead jerk. To be a little bit more precise in the definitions. Pardon my lip-smacking noises.
What can I do for you?
It's Ruby Ring, 5 might and 11 critical rating. Actually, probably better than Aranora's band. And if, there we are. So that is correct. Over here.
Stay a moment.
Place canal on flat stones. Canal. Canals? Well, those are okay, that's the... I was misseeing the icon. There. More quests they have for me.
Will
Collect
you lend me your
Ungbur's
ear?
venom pouches, defeat the Ungbur's defiler. That's a little more involved. Well, we'll take it, but probably won't do it.
Stay a moment.
We'll probably end up dropping it. Because these elves, man, they all want something from me. Want. Orc excursions.
Will you
defeat
lend me your
orcs
ear?
in Melowinen. I still need to defeat more wargs. That's orc excursions. That's Guardians of the Glade. Those are the 3 stones. Alright, we'll work on that one first. I understand that for a lot of people, questing's got to feel boring. That's understandable. Imagine if it was your job to come up with all of the quests and try and be interesting with them. Alright, there's the Bog Guardians. They don't like me, but if I put the magic stone on the other stone, they're not interested. At a point many years ago, I did a quick calculation as to how many quests I had done. I don't even remember what it was. And I kind of based it on more on this game than even on WoW, because I had easier access to the number of quests in the game. I don't think I've done 1,000,000 quests, but I've probably done a couple 100,000. I wrote a blog for about 6 months, 12 years ago. And it was for that I kind of did that calculation. Orc excursions. Who do I need to murder for the orc excursions? Just any old orc will do. Oh, hey, look! A hateful Ungbur's. That's one. This job is easy. I just have to kill orcs. Orcs is precious. New deed, the Eastern Ruins, Marinost. There's another player. Who's coming with me. I'm sure he was just waiting, hoping that magnifying lens would come by. Ungbur's venom pouches. Oh. Ungbur's defiler, sure, why not? The Founding Stone. Thought there was a clicky for that. Well, I'm glad to help out this person who was clearly just waiting for me because of my incredible, overwhelming power. Or maybe he was waiting for respawns because it appears like everybody else is dead. How many did I get? 5? Yeah, we got 5 of them down. Let's go swimming. I need 5 more orcs of these. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb. That was what he was waiting for, was respawns. Well, we've got another hateful longburs or two. That was up. Uh-oh. It's another wraith. But this time I do have a friend. I'm going to wave at Lucky Shaft Bow something. As he turned it into a non-question. 2 people, you are in great shape against at least the regular kind of wraiths. I don't know how it would have gone with the big ones. Don't like them. They're not friendly. In fact, they're distinctly hostile. Not just not friendly. I need one more orc, one more ongburs. And that will be those. And jump! We didn't get unhorsed, or unponied, technically, I suppose. Back to Lingiliath.
Megavanen.
Megavanen, may not Gavanen. You can't tell for sure. That's Rep. Of Glory's long past final version. Is that 15? Delicious LotRO points? It is. That's 15 cents, guys. That's a dime and a nickel. You could be earning mad money like me. Just follow my farming tips.
What do you need?
I need a ring that I'll sell because it's crap. Truth hurts, I know.
What do you need?
I'm almost ready for another level. My power is undeniable.
Stay a moment.
Collect weapon chests. Defeat Hillman defenders. Get a real job? Yeah, that would be another choice. That's one of the things that's kind of funny about people who complain about some pay-to-win games. And believe me, I understand what people are complaining about. There's so much stuff to hate about them. They make themselves so hateable. Now, I'm a retired old fart. Oh, I don't want that quest. That's way down there. Yes, that's the one I don't want. But if you're a working guy, you know, you work your 40 hours a week, you want to play your game.
Greetings to you.
I completely understand the desire to say, fuck it. I'm going to take I'm going to take 40 of my hard-earned dollars. I'm going to buy some gems in the Guild Wars 2 Guild Wars, store. I'm going to buy some pretty things, maybe turn some of those gems into gold, and buy, a legendary weapon. Ooh, ah. In a game like this, where you can grind out the LotRO points, and there are guides out there on how to build up a lot of LotRO points. Realistically, for your average person, At least your average American. I shouldn't say your average person because economies vary widely worldwide. But if you're working a minimum wage job, you're making federal minimum still $7 an hour, $7.20, something like that. Work a little overtime rather than spending an hour or 2 hours doing something you don't like in game. Now, if you like doing it, then sure, do it in game. There are people who enjoy the grind, and if you enjoy the grind or you enjoy the activities that are giving you LotRO points, great, absolutely perfect. But too many people seem to get hung up on it's a free-to-play game and they don't want to spend money because it's a free-to-play game. Whereas I look as a free-to-play game generally is if it's worth playing for a length of time, you know, if you're playing 40 hours, if you're putting 40 hours into the game at a certain point, if you can afford it, throw them a little money. Make your enjoyment of the game increased. Now, I understand that's not always an option for everybody. I totally get that. But too many people take the free-to-play label on a game as a dare. Like, I'm not allowed to spend money.
What can I do for you?
It's fine. If you want to spend some cash. That is not a good-looking piece of equipment. That is Ding 28. My power grows. Talk to Daggerass about the Spider Queen. Oh yeah, Draggerass. He was over here. Hi, Draggerass.
Greetings.
I get his shoes. I get some used bleeping shoes. Note, the shoes I already have 1 more agility, 4 vit, and maximum power for 5 less armor. Drag your ass. Yeah, your shoes suck. Defeat wargs. I still need to defeat... Oh, and the warg bounty. And oh, the Periwinkle is to the north, isn't it? That's the wargs, and that's the Periwinkle. So there is no other breadcrumb, I guessed, to the dwarvish town up here. Othrakar, I think it was called. Back to the one-handed weaponsmith, you know, helping out the handicapped. We want to keep that one for sure. A clump of chives. I hit 28. I can now use the Silver Web of Vigor. Do I want to? Really? No, I don't think I do. I think I want to sell that if I can. Drag your ass's shoes. Aranora's band. Yawn incoming. Sorry.
Greetings.
I don't believe they'll... No, they won't let me ride to Othrakar until I've been there. So we're going to ride to Othrakar. There is another of the skirmish camps, which we can't use. Not that I'm bitter in any way, form, or fashion about that, other than everything you can hear in my voice about me being actually, yeah, bitter. I understand the reasons. I consider those reasons to be cheese, but I understand their reasons. Othrakar is a kind of nifty little dwarf town up here. Although, frankly, not much of a town. Settlement? No. Outpost. Let's go with outpost. You really want to see a city here. You know, a town. Bree would be fall into my category of a town. Good evening and greetings. Minas Tirith isn't even really a city. It's a fort. that a bunch of people have lived in. Same was true with, well, originally they were Minas Anor and Minas Ithil. The Tower of the Sun and the Tower of the Moon. Once Mordor took over Minas Ithil, it became Minas Morgul, the Tower of Black Magic, and Minas Anor became Minas Tirith, the Tower of Guard, which frankly is
What can I do for you?
clumsy, linguistically speaking. I've made it to Othrakar. I need to AFK for a sec. I need to refill one container and empty another one, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. And I'm back. All right. Quartermaster Orgrin, collect lynx furs. I could do that. Hornbory, gather bear meat.
For your assistance.
Also, make sure we have unlocked the
What do you
stable
need?
master. Always. The Karam Nubnar needs you. Adagra Zahar. We remove that immediately from the tracker. At least it will leave us be. My memory, which is never trustworthy at the best of times, let alone these days, is that there were other Dorothy quests here. But I'm not seeing any. So, we're off. We need... Purple is... Okay, we need lynxes. That is the herbs and simples. And that's bears. Bears, bears, bears. This is the lynx hides and the herbal bits, I think. There's one of the herbal bits we need. A periwinkle. Another periwinkle. Of course, periwinkle, one of the funnier names in the botanical world. A dower hand. Do I have a quest for killing dower hands? No, I don't. That's the luckiest dower hand you're going to see tonight. I know I have to end up killing him sometime. Just a matter of time. But until I get the quest, they get a pass. 2 more periwinkles. Oh, I see the flashing periwinkles. Really, parry is not a particularly funny sounding word, but the winkle. The winkle is what sells it. Alright, that's the hunters. But I can get that. Same area where the bears are.
Hail! Have you come to heed the summons to war?
No. Not me. Warp. For those who are not aware, that is trying to explain the narrative arc is a bit dicey on that. Those are level 120 quests. Quests that take you to level 120 area, but they're scaling, but not all of it is scaling. It's really a confused mess. Part of the ooh, backpack, free loot. Part of the Gundabad expansion, dwarf focused. It's a bear. Yeah, I one-shotted it. That's got to be an embarrassment, really. Bear meat. Bear meat. One more bear ought to do it. Oh, I think Hungry Downs Bear, you're it. That's 6 out of 6. We need winter gloves. We need to track down some of the lynxes, or whatever the flavor of cat is around here. I can't remember. I think it's a lynx, but I could definitely be mistaken. Yeah, Downs Wildcat. That's one. Don't think I have anything for the birds. That isn't a... it's a bear. That looks like a bear. Need more of the wildcats. That's a hawk. That's a hawk. Generally speaking, hawks and cats, not the same kind of creatures. There we go. Two down, 4 to go. Lots of hawks. There's another cat. still in the middle of the blue area on the mini-map, which denotes here there be kitties. Delicious. Lots of bears. That looks like a kitty. Yep, Downs Wildcat. That was one short, I believe. One more to go. You can't get me, bear. I ride like the wind. Or possibly break like the wind. Pass like the wind? Something to do with the wind. And that is the lynxes. Lynxies? And back to Author to turn in a couple of quests. Been buzzing through the quests tonight, that's for sure. Of course, I have probably done most of these quests like 15 or 20 times. So even though I haven't done them for a number of years, mostly I remember where they are. I think next up they send me over to, like, there's a Dour Hands outpost to the west. So they send me out to beat up some relatives of theirs. You know, the ones from the bad part of town.
Well met, friend. At your service, and your families.
And my family's what? Oh, their service too. Got it. Well, that's kind.
Welcome. You have come at a most fortuitous time.
I have come at a most fortuitous time, guys. You might find that surprising. This guy can't find the mining records, despite the fact they're sitting right over here. Easily located by a quest tracker. I just don't understand lazy dwarves, man. We're talking 30 yards away. That's all he had to do. Get off his fat ass and what? You know, given the amount of time I spend sitting on my fat ass, I probably shouldn't complain about him. Never mind.
I am at your service. Come and stay a moment,
Find
friend.
someone who can translate the mining records. What? They're not in Dwarvish? They're not in Kuzdul?
This is unthinkable.
Oh, they're Elvish. Okay. Never mind.
What do you need?
Do we have an elf around here? I'm thinking maybe we have an elf around here, so going to them for the translation of the Elvish would probably be better than, you know, futzing around.
Well met, friend.
No Elvish for him. You know, there was a time where there were, you know, everyone was expected to understand how to read a little Elvish. You know, Elvish as a second language was everywhere. Find someone who can read it. I thought I clicked on the hell.
I am at your service.
I hate it. Hate it when something like that happens where
Greetings, traveler.
you speak to the NPC and the quest ring doesn't vanish over their head. That's just a bad mechanic,
What do you need?
to my mind. Oh,
What do
he
you
knows it.
need?
Bring it back to Regan. Regan will be interested to hear this account. Regan, here you go.
At your
So
service.
we're missing a map,
and
eh?
your
I wonder.
families.
Well, thank you again for your work.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
Completed Rune Kenner. This is... Oh! Put me over on Thorin's Hall into acquaintance, despite the fact I'm from Thorin's Hall. Collect the Dower Hand mining map. We're back off to the Dower Hands now. Deed bestowed. Deed committed. Title awarded. Close.
At your service and your families.
Yeah, I know. You're at my service and my family's. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to keep that. Sell that. Sell that. I'm sure. Or don't tell Orgrin, but I'm selling you his crap. He might take offense. But frankly, he gives me a crappy staff that I can't use. It's really not that useful when you defeat Northhawks. Sure. Dower Hands? More Dower Hands, maybe? Hanar, what do you have for me? Defeat Dower Hand Scouts. You see? See, I told you. They want me to beat up their neighbors. I've had some bad neighbors in my time, so I kind of understand. Alright, stop the scouts. That's there. Bird in the hand. And then the lost map is there. So we want to emphasize the lost map. Five scouts, a bunch of birds, and a map. Not that way, though. Go the way that doesn't end in a bunch of walls. Helpful advice from me to you. Alright, we have our first Dower Hand scout. And I'm just going to run up. Now note, he started it. I ran up to him. True. But he attacked me. He struck the first blow. I struck the last. Because of course I did. In this case, I struck about the last 6 or 8. Dower Hands. Northhawks. Birds. We need more birds, a couple more Dower Hand scouts. No, we need one more Dower Hand scout. I don't know if the Dower Hands in here are scouts or not. No, they're just miners, and we need to, I think, thump the miners for another pickup quest. Pulling Beards. Find and defeat the leader of the Dower Hands. Before we defeat the leader, we need to just beat up some of the miners. No, that doesn't mean they're underage. I need to be clear about that. Sack of Yeast. I don't think we got the quest for the Sack of Yeast. But I'm not going to let that stop me from picking up the Sack of Yeast. That's another quest. Good. Collect stolen yeast. Well, somebody's looking for it. I'm sure they want it, said the yeast. Yeah, I know. Got any yeast down here? It doesn't seem like it. So I'll just sneakily steal all of their supplies instead. Sure they won't miss it. Sneakily. It wasn't even sneakily. east. Got another miner. Let's give him what for with a mug to the melon. Foreman Nyrad is presumably the boss around here, so he's going to get a whole lot of fists. And that's the miners. I got the Dower Hat map. What do we need? Those are miners. I think I got all the miners I needed, but let's make sure by beating the crap out of these. Yeah, I got all those. That's another Downs Stalker. I don't need any more of those. What else do I need? I need 2 more Hawks and 1 more Scout. I have a little difficulty finding those, as the other player just came through and might have cleaned everything out. Oh, here's a Hawk. We'll need 1 more after this, I think. 1 more. Ah, we got a Wraith. I canceled my biggest attack. That could kill me. Down to 41 health. Oh, and I'm now being attacked. Down to 39 health. Being attacked by a stalker, one of the cats. I will finish off the last of my delicious blueberry muffins. That was the sort of high-quality gameplay that you don't see just anywhere on the internet. No. No, you can only get that in certain high-quality streams. Not like this one. I may have stumbled over it. I need 1 more Scout, I think. Actually, I screwed that up. It would have been a lot easier if I hadn't interrupted... Oh, got another Down Stalker. If I hadn't interrupted my pummel, which is my best attack. I will take it out on the Scout here by pummeling him instead. I feel better. I feel redeemed for valuable prizes. More quests to turn in. There really is a settlement to the west of here. I think they send me there next.
Greetings, traveler. I would be grateful.
Locate the mother lode and take an ore sample. Even that's not to the settlement. That's a different location. Hanar.
What do you want?
What do I want? You gave me a quest, dumbass.
What do you need?
I am at your service.
Haplagar. Medium armor. It's trash. All the way out there, you know, that seems like an awful long way to go. Wait, we've got 2 quests out there. That's the Father Lode, and that's Pulling Beards. Defeat Torfi Hammerhorn, I guess, okay. Hammerhorn. Hammerhorn? Hammerhorn. I don't know what that means. I mean, it's English, I understand the words involved. But generally speaking, hammers and horns... I know what I should have done. What I probably should do for now, at least temporarily. I assume there's a homestone here. No? Eek. Alright, crap. No, it doesn't look like there is one. That's unfortunate. But hey, I'll have to live with the consequences of my failures. They are so many. It is a burden upon my soul. Nah. Right, that's the father load, is the first one we're heading for. They need an ore sample. If you're a little bit careful, you'll note the enemies are red dots on the mini-map. You can navigate through them a lot of times. I think the father load's down here. Yep. Yep. The little glowy bits of rock. Ore deposit. Reveals glittering gold flakes. Ah, but are they real gold? I have taken an ore sample. Or are they simply pyrite? Fool's gold. Jackie Stonehand. How you doing, Jackie? How you doing, Jackie boy? Hi. I have no memory of that NPC. There have been a number of quests that have been removed over the years. They have brought some of them back, I know, on the new servers. But like pretty much every other MMO, over the course of the years, they have, I will use their euphemism, they have streamlined leveling, questing, all that stuff. Torfy. Is he right down here? Or is he further? He's a good ways further in, I think. You know, and I understand why they do it. In an older school MMO like this one, originally you built around the fact that it was supposed to take a very long time to level up a character, get to the end game, that sort of thing. But over the years, that's a big one. Yep, that was a big one. I could see him as he appeared that he was taller than the other wraith. So I will be skipping this quest, as I don't think, because he's gonna he is going to return to the place he was spawned and sit there for 10 or 15 minutes, however long it takes them to despawn. And that's right in the middle of the only passageway into that area. I will not be getting to that NPC. Oh well. Lots and lots and lots of dour hands around here. What was I saying? I was saying something about something. Before I got to... Oh yes. That they would spend a great deal more time, players would, in leveling up. So you needed a full raft of quests to keep people busy. And as they streamline things, making leveling faster, easier, you didn't want to overload them with too many quests, and so they would trim out some quest lines and stuff. And over the years, those things go away. Need to get back to off your car over there. It is the way of the MMO world. Leveling gets easier in time. You don't want the players, the new players who are coming over, to get bored too easily.
At
The
your
father
service
load.
and your families.
That's another piece of crap item. Not to put too fine a point on it. It's trash. Alright, we will not be defeating Torfy Hammerhorn. Alright, defeat wargs, talk to Hjortkin, take the herbs to Orthorn. Is that he's back at... Right. It's probably faster to just ride straight to him. To Orthon. Back at Ammon, whatever the name was. Oops. Oh, this is not going to go badly. I feel quite confident and safe in saying that I will be able to manage without even kicking my legs. If you fall too far in Lord of the Rings Online, if you're not familiar with it, you get the sound implying you've broken your legs. And you get slowed for a length of time, up to 60 seconds. A 60-second slow. But if you fall any further than that, it kills you. May seem like an odd mechanic, but a friend of mine was running around in the PvP zone one day. PvP has a very different mechanic. It's asymmetric. It's not your characters versus somebody else's characters. If you can go in as your character, but you could also go in as as a creep. You have the freeps, the free peoples, versus the creeps, who are spiders, wargs, and orcs of different classes. And so he was running around on his free person character, so his regular character, running around in the moors, and I managed to miss it. I managed to miss it entirely. Really? Yeah, I did. And he was being chased by a much more powerful orc. And he's running, and there's a cliff, and he says, screw it. And he just runs right off the cliff, because otherwise he's going to die. The orc decides to follow him. But the orc does what a great many of us do. When he gets to a cliff, he does a jump. He does a hop like that. My friend hits the ground, gets a 60-second slow. The orc, because he jumped, moved a little bit too high, that tiny a bit further he fell, killed him.
Greetings to you.
I will choose the greater Aphelis essences, of course.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Driftwood and firewood. Well, okay, I can see the firewood just... Yeah, I'll collect the firewood that's sitting here 15 feet from you. Sure, no problem. Lazy prick. And I can assure you that I'm one of those who does the hop mechanic. I hop into instances. Anytime I'm jumping down something, I always do the little hop. Well, in this particular case, the hop killed the guy. PvP in LotRO is very different. Right, where's the driftwood? That's along the lines, yeah, along the shore of the little, I don't want to say river here, the creek. I guess it's a river. A placid, slow-moving river, sure. We'll call it a river. Generally speaking, I am a big fan of asymmetric mechanics. So, in this game, the PvP is asymmetric. In Star Wars, The Old Republic, one of the PvP modes is asymmetric. where one side attacks and the other side defends, and then they swap sides, and whoever does it succeeds the fastest or gets closest to succeeding wins the PvP round. I love an asymmetric mechanic like that. I think it's much more interesting. WoW PvP originally, or actually WoW class design originally, because originally Paladins were Alliance only and Shaman were Horde only. So I like asymmetric design like that. So I really like the base design behind Lord of the Rings Online PvP. You know, you've got your dwarves, elves, humans, and hobbits versus, you know, they're not fully developed classes on the other side, but they've got their abilities and stuff just the same. A couple different kinds of orcs. There's like an orc leader, there's an orc shaman type, orc warrior, maybe like an orc berserker type. I'm not sure about that. Spiders who can hide in the ground, wargs who can stealth. But I really, really like asymmetric design like that. It becomes very, very difficult to balance, obviously, but I just find it cool.
Greetings to you.
Greetings to you!
Hello, friend.
Collect
Can you
furs
help
from
me with
wolves
something?
or bears. To the west. Not a huge PvPer. I did a reasonable chunk of PvP here in this game, mostly when my friends and I would go out as a warg pack in the moors. You know, a half a dozen of us stealthing up and attacking groups of elves, dwarves, humans, and so on. Wolves and bears. Wolves and bears, I mean. And occasion go out as our, you know, our real characters, so to speak. Oh, that guy killed my bear. So I'll kill this wolf then. The only other games I ever really did a lot of PvP, and I did some in WoW, again, but only with my guild. I did a fair amount, a pretty good amount actually, in Star Wars: The Old Republic. For whatever reason, I kind of liked the PvP there. Oh, we've got another freaking Wraith. Got him. I think when you move up a tier from the first tier where you get 2 tattered shadows, you should be getting more tattered shadows from these. I know the elite ones you get 6 from, and I know that because I've killed a couple, but none of them solo. I killed them where other people were fighting them, or mine spawned out when other people were around, and we took them together. It just seems that those numbers are lower than they should be. Well, that's a warg. Another warg. I mean, it was 10 of them to get the first 50 points of rep, and we need another 49 of those to reach the second tier. So that's another 490 wraiths that I have to track down. That number seems to be ludicrously high. But if there is one thing, sadly, that the LotRO devs have been doing, it's including busy work in place of content. again, I think it is important for me to emphasize that is not a complaint about them or their work ethic. It is a complaint about the fact that they're a very small team who's working on this game now. I think the entire team is, I can't remember, it's either 60 or 30. And that is for both games, LotRO and DDO. I think it was 60 because I think I did, in my head I put it at 9 each. Not that that's, accurate. 60 people running 2 MMOs, including management, administration, all that stuff. That's a really small team. Your server froze, or you mean you froze in game? Because that could be either. I haven't had a server fail yet. I've had my client hang once, which actually is less than it normally hangs. Yeah, the key to knowing. Wow, wow. Mine too. Thanks. You broke mine too. I can't move anymore. One thing we are still having, though, is chat is still going. That's how you can tell when it's local, when it's a server issue, is if the chat is still going. Because the chat server is different from the game server. I expect that I'm probably hung out to dry here, too. Yeah, the server is not responding. Yeah, so this is the second DC I've had. I can't pick up my pending loot, so yeah, it's definitely a server issue. Or technically, it's either a server issue or a server client desync. So I'm going to try to log out and log back in. I am not hopeful, but we'll see. There we go. Connection to the server is lost. I believe now the client will quit completely out. That indeed does appear to be what it's doing, as I have a cursor you can't see. I capture the program window, not the monitor window. So you can't see, for instance, right now the task manager is up, as I am going to kill the client from deep space. And relaunch, and we'll see where we're at. So that's 2. Either we both got hit by the same thing, or you summoned your evil upon me. In which case, I would like your secret. You're on Angmar, I assume? Evil was summoned by game freezing, going back to Firefox, realizing your stream was up, and you figured you'd complain. No, I absolutely complain. No, my assumption is it's the server. Crap the bed. If it hit both of us at the same time, more or less, yeah, that's the server. The odds that you and I both suffered a failure at the exact same time, I'm not buying that one. My client goes bad and your client, or the server barfed. My money is on server puke.
Greetings to you.
What is he want me to kill wargs? Was that what it?
Hello, friend. Could you help me with
True,
something?
if we were neighbors. Collect bones from the bone piles. Well, that doesn't sound grim. Where am I going? Over there, the bone piles. And we've got wargs. Well, sure, well, let's go kill some wargs. See, these used to be clickable. Keep surprising yourself at how bad your grammar has become. Oh, don't worry. It's all going to get worse. The internet has infected almost everyone with bad grammar and spelling habits. I increasingly rely on error notation. You know, the underlining when the application you're working with thinks you've made a misspelling, and now most of the time when it tells me that, I have. Alright, we're going to kill some wargs. No problem. And then we're going to find some bone piles. We need to kill how many? Well, that's a Moor stalker. I don't have any quests for you. I have no quests for you. Ah, bone piles. Warg packmate. Well, eat mug. Bone piles. Lovely. Lovely. I love sorting through somebody else's bone piles. Ew. And we have a corpse over here, so at least that's some free money. There's something up there. Plus, we need to just kill some more wargs. I don't want to waste my time with wolves. I want wargs. I mean, wolves are just wargs at home. Howl of Iglan. Got enough bone piles? It's bones from bone piles. What else we got up here? Something up here. It's marked anyway. That's a Moor stalker. Not interested in the Moor stalkers. I believe I've made myself clear. I'm here to whack morgs. Morgs? Orgs. Or possibly morgs. Disturbed Earth. Well, I need one more warg, so how about we take out that warg that's next to the Disturbed Earth before we poke it with a stick. And I'm pretty sure something comes out. Don't know that, don't remember, but... Burial Mound looks recently exhumed. Lovely. Alright, we're heading back. We can remove that for now. No, that was the wrong one. What did I just remove? Which one did I just remove? The wrong one. I hate it when I do that. Warg Slayer, Warg Bounty. Oh. That's the other one. I got my shit together. Well, that's an exaggeration. Oh, okay, we got like halfway across. That's an exaggeration too. I don't want to try and whistle like he whistles because it's tough to control if you don't whistle a lot. Alright, fall into the wargs.
Greetings to you.
The armor of Anundir, more absolute trash fucking armor that no one would ever wear. I'm assuming it's a leftover from before the game got power crept to some degree.
Greetings to you.
Helm of Anundir. Yeah, no.
Hello, friend.
Now
Could you help
find
me
the
with
Dwarf
something?
Keep of Othrokar. So now he's giving me the breadcrumb quest to go to the place I've already been. It's fine. I'll turn it in for some XP. And then I'll boogie back to Esteldin. What do I think the release schedule would be like for Angmar? Well, I've heard people say 3 months until Moria. I don't know. In the past, when they've poked around with VIP servers, which I have done a little bit, I don't remember what it was. 3 months... I mean, I'm making fast progress, but things do get slower. So I don't know, I would expect 3 months might be okay. I personally would lean more towards 4. So I would think 3 to 4 months before we get Moria. Because, I mean, it's not like I've spent an enormous amount of time getting to almost level 30. Wow, that's more than I thought. 21 hours. I would have thought like 12. Yeah, so maybe 4 months. They might stretch it out to 6. Really enjoying it. Didn't start playing until like Rohan. Never came close to the level cap. Still don't have a level cap character. I have only one level cap character. And actually, he's not even level cap anymore. He's like 148 or something like that. Othrokar.
Well met, friend. Greetings, traveler.
Find
Will you
Gatson
stay a
at his
moment?
farm. Alright. Gatson is like right there now. Alright. Got another quest. Have like 840 hours, just lots of dicking around on all and alts. Well, yeah. I'm an inveterate alt whore. There was a point partway through the Mirkwood expansion, which was the one right after Moria, where I had all 9 classes at the level cap of 65. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. They've added more classes, and they've added lots more levels. During, that's how you were during WoW, during MOP. Hey, I just buzzed 5 characters all the way through Pandaria Remix. And then forgot about the end date on my sub. And so over the weekend, they had a free weekend, and I could log back into my Pandaria Remix characters and didn't have to start a sub up again to spend my 300,000 currency on all of the unlocks, the cosmetic unlocks. I need to AFK just a sec because it's empty. And I'm back again. Your girlfriend just played WoW for the first time when she had COVID. I played some with her, but the game feels so bland these days for me. Well, generally, the last expansion was extremely well received. I wasn't that enthused by it. I felt that the narrative was... While the narrative was less stupid than the previous couple, it was also less interesting. Really like the one before the dragon one. Yeah, that was the one that ended with the Shadowlands. The storyline was stupid but interesting. The dragon one, I found the storyline to be not stupid but boring.
What do you need? I'll not be
Defeat
ignored.
orcs in his south fields and
Might I take a moment of
find
your
an
time?
Auric yearling and bring it back. Right, I had forgotten about that quest. Oh, look. Angmars. And I'm half dead. I have to run from this one, even though it's a lesser wraith. I was being aggressive in fighting 4 orcs at once. And 4 orcs and then a wraith. That's not a good choice. The Shadowlands narrative was terrible as they crapped all over the legacy of the game. But at least it was an interesting one if it was bad. You're bad you quested through BFA and thought those were good quests. I liked the zones. The individual zone storylines for BFA were really interesting. Better than any of the zone storylines in Dragonflight by a long, long, long way. And, all right, I'm healed up now. Now I can take you on, oh shadowy wraith. You want to dance with me, punk? I got it. Right here for you. Uh-oh. No, no, no. He's got me. I take it back. He's got me. Yeah, he's got me. Yeah. As a solo champ, got your ass kicked by the wraiths. Yet to kill one on your own. I'm playing on Fearless. Yeah. If you're working at one of the higher difficulties, that does not surprise me. I'm going to go ahead and retreat. He beat me one-on-one and he shouldn't have, but he did. It's not my fault. I swear it. It's not my fault. It's possibly my fault. Okay, maybe it's my fault a little. But that doesn't mean I'm not going back at him right now. Come on, Wraith Face. Let's dance again. Ow. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sure, you can kill me once. Maybe twice, but not that time. Hey, Kiros R6, go fuck yourself. Sorry, that's for any YouTube viewers, that is a bot on Twitch dropping a best viewers on website only because I don't allow URLs. Every day when they stick their head in, it says best viewers on asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. And because Twitch is technically so inept. They can't even search out simple strings like that and cull them from the conversations going on in their website. But yeah, if you're playing on one of the higher difficulties, one of the landscape difficulties, the wraiths are going to be extremely bad news. There's another one. That one's not mine. That's a level 31. And there's a dead guy there. That's Matt of the 12. So it's not just me. This level 31 will almost certainly kick my ass, so I'm going to run away from him. All right, the Orc is over there somewhere, I think. Yep. I mean, I beat up the level 28 guy, my level, after he killed me the first time, so I'm not liking my odds on taking on a level 31. He's not one of the elites, so theoretically, maybe, who knows. All right, the Orc's yearling. Escort. Oh, that's right. It darts off ahead of you. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone's favorite thing in all MMO RPGs all the time. You guessed it. It's an escort quest. 2 or 3 waves of orcs will attack us. Eventually. Oh, God. Oh, this is one thing race should not spawn on. Escort quest, that's another good piece of idea that they should embrace, but they won't. They are considering taking them from instance gameplay. They're considering it. My guess is they probably won't, because it would require too much coding. I have completed Orc Slayer. Deed bestowed. New deed, Orc Slayer advanced. And 5 LotRO points, presumably. Did the first Sarah Okar quest and got hit with a Wraith. I'll get back to it. Oh, Sarah. Yeah, the Sarah Okart stuff is like you're being punished for a sin you have not yet committed. Time to start sinning, my friends. Sarah Okart is a meme in LotRO. She is an NPC. Spoiler, who is not what she seems. That you run into early in the game and repeatedly throughout the game. Famous for how slow she moves in escort quests.
What can I do for you?
And by slow, wow, do I mean slow.
Oh, this is intolerable.
Oh, this is
Will you let me
intolerable.
speak my piece?
Talk to Alvin. Was Alvin the guy I was... No? Okay, he's got another quest. What's up with you?
Will you
Grain.
let me speak my piece?
Collect stolen grain.
What do you need?
Defeat the attacking orcs and protect Alwyn and the herd. Look out, the orcs are coming. Where are they coming from? Oh, there they are. Hi, orcs. Another little pseudo sort of escort quest. Well, that should be, I guess, the first. We got more coming. Alvin. Alvin! Two waves. There we go. I have driven them off. I am mighty. One of them poisoned me, though. The jerk. I'm fine. I'm just going to throw up a little.
This is intolerable.
On your front porch. Orc. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Ding 29. Those shoulder pads are not good. Ooh, but that hat. Oh, hell yes. I will no longer be wearing Digweed's hat. I like to call it Dickweed's hat because, well, obviously, what else are you going to call that hat? But this one is pretty much similar to the one I'm currently wearing on my cosmetic outfit. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. Yeah, pretty much looks the same. Stylish. I like to think of it as. It's very stylish. Deed bestowed. Enmity of the Goblins 2. When I finish that up, after killing enough goblins, I'll get the Return to Thorin's Gate ability. He wants me to collect stolen grain. Ah, there. All right. All right. Fine, fine, fine. I need to help the farmer out. And incidentally kill some goblins, so that's kind of an upside, you know. I think that's an Earthkin. Sort of religious site, spiritual site, whatever. I feel a sneeze lurking. We'll see if it decides it wants to come out to play or not. Hi, how you doing? Blunting the spear. I have to defeat the chieftain. And kill 5 dead aims and 5 grims. And there are some clickies. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's the supplies, I guess. Hello. Hello, Angmar's chieftain. It's always nice to be able to just press one button and pummel them to death. Grim Angmars. War Captain Angmars. Sacks of grain. I'm going to have to run around and kill more of these guys. The sacks of grain I already got taken care of. I need to provide an objective lesson to these fellows as to why they need to reconsider their life choices. by making sure they won't have to make any more life choices. I need one more dead aim Ongers. 2 more Grim Ongers. One more Grim Ongers. One more dead aim Ongers. And that's that. Lots of dead Ongers. Approximately 11 of them. And my inventory is entirely filled with crap again. As a recommendation to new players, even though it's difficult to do, just sell all of the task materials. I can't bring myself to, but you should. Grain Hunter.
What do you need?
Why are you angry? I got your frickin' grain.
This is intolerable.
Oh, you didn't want me to kill the guys you told me to kill? Maybe next time don't tell me to kill them.
Stay and hear
Talk
me
to
out.
Londrendeer. Where's Londrendeer? Oh, he's just standing right here. Talk to Lachan or Aglardir at Meluinen. No, I've been to Meluinen. You need me to go back down to Meluinen? It's the freaking breadcrumb quest. We'll head down, we'll cash in the breadcrumb quest, and then we'll ride back to Esteldin, although I think I said that like 20 minutes ago about riding to Esteldin. I got ahead of myself when I got to Esteldin. There were 2 breadcrumbs I was jumping ahead of. You guys can't see me, I'm invisible because I'm on a horse. Wow, that worked. That's Trampletusk. He was the biggie that you needed to get for, I think it was the tailoring. Moving up a tier in the tailoring. The crafting, you used to have to actually do quests to open up higher tiers. And I think that was, you had to get that guy to move from like the 2nd to the 3rd tier of tailoring. I think it was tailoring. Aglardir.
Megovanen.
More quests here. The Stolen Ornament.
Stay a moment.
No. The
Mind
Wayward
my
Companion
words,
in Tower Gonwith. That's like, yeah, that's over there. I've had enough of you haughty, nose in the air elves.
Will you lend me your ear?
Thinking you're better than everyone else just because you can't die of old age.
Sweet-eyed Malon.
Esteldin, please. I'm just going to take the local. Pardon me for a second here as I ride and I ride to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking. I think I'm going to be calling it an evening. An evening. English is hard, guys. In a second. So I'm going to set up a raid for those of you who are on Twitch. I'm going to send you over to Bloodborne, who is also leveling in the Vale here on Angmar, like me. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, as always. I am very appreciative that you decided to spend some time here.
Dude, he got some gear and now he's on.
Give me a sec. I'll ride into Esteldin and then call it. So thank you guys for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I'll probably be taking tomorrow off because I'm enjoying these beverages this evening. But I'm going to raid another LotRO streamer who is also playing on Angmar. I don't know him personally, so be nice to him and hopefully he'll be nice to you. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Back in 2 days at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, early morning in Asia and Australia. Let's go ahead and set off that raid. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night. And hopefully you can get on with your week pretty quick. I'm back in probably 2 days. Have a great night tonight. Take care. And ciao for now. Have fun.